G'day mates, how's it going? You're on DirtByte. Welcome back to the survival farming vlog. So, just as we finished off the last vlog, I got a call from one of our neighbours, Noah. He's noticed that we was out with the seeder and he was asking if we can go and seed his field for him. So we can have a quick look here. This is what he's asking for. So he's asking for us to seed his field, which is field number 6. It's 2.16 hectares. He wants some corn. It's going to give us $5,190 for it. So I said, well, yeah, why not? We'll come out there straight away and do it because, $5,000 is pretty good. And also we want to help out our neighbours as much as we can so that, we're keeping good with them and they will help us out when we need it as well. So before we head over there, there might not be enough seed in the seeder, so I thought we'd just grab one more bag of seed before we head out. That way, we've got plenty. We don't want to be heading back just to get some more seed to finish off the job for Noah. Because it is, his field is quite a way out. It's probably, yeah, it's far away from, or almost as far away from the shop as you can get. So it's best if we take a semi-full seeder. I think 72% for the seed and 70% for fertilizer is going to be plenty. I'm assuming that we maybe put in fertilizer in as well. Didn't specify that or not. I think we will just to help him out. We may lose a little bit extra money by putting the fertilizer in, but that's okay. I'm sure he'll appreciate the extra effort we've gone to do that for him. While we're heading out there, I want to talk about what we're going to be doing in the rest of the episode. So we have weeds to do in some of our fields, or probably all 3 of the fields we planted in the last couple of vlogs. We have the grass to cut and get ready for our animals, which we decided about are going to be goats. And I think I want to get the goats today. So possibly later in the episode towards the end, we'll probably do the goats. I want to make sure we've got some grass and some feed for them first so we can give them that straight away. So that's pretty much the goals for the day. It's expansion with our animals. Let's just put this on cruise control. We're heading out this way. I'll bring up the shop page on my phone while we're driving, which you probably shouldn't be doing, but we're pretty open here. There's no one else around, so it should be pretty safe. Because the shop did mention that they've got another baler in. I think it was a square baler. Yeah, they've got a couple of John Deere balers in, the 690 and the 100 series. So these are like big square balers for $12,000, and they take 115 horsepower. I'm pretty confident that our let's just straighten this up. Let's make sure we're heading in the right direction. I think this is right. Have a look at the map, wherever that is. Yeah, we're heading out sort of in the right direction. I have to pay attention here a bit, but with that baler, it's $12,000. I think that's amazing. That's a great price for that baler. It's going to really facilitate us going to some of the bigger bales to start with. And it's really going to help with our expansion because the other, like that looks like an old, I think they may be second hand. Because, yeah, they are very cheap in comparison to the other balers that they've got there at the shop. They are the older style, so yeah, I'm assuming that they are like a second hand. But it's really going to be beneficial to us for our expansion plans. I think the baler like that would probably be big enough to last, for quite a while. Even if we expand our field and when we have like other crops to bale, like straw and stuff, they'll be good for that. And we'll be able to move the bales around with our front end loader. We don't need a stacker at the moment. I'm assuming this is a field. Looks like it's been planted. Or is that just weeds? Is that just full of weeds? Okay, so it's got rye in it. I'm assuming that's what he wanted. Let's have a look at what he's asked for. So, accept. That's probably going to change it. Yeah. That was a bit strange. It must have just been, some sort of illusion or something. I don't know what was going on with that. So he definitely wants corn. That's what he specified. So we're gonna get it all lined up. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna turn the seeder on, get our lines on. Yeah, so this shouldn't take too long. I'm assuming it's all going good. Let's have a look at the map to make sure actually it's going to show us if we're planting. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It looks like there must be some sort of issue with our planter because the seed is not coming out. So the fertilizer was being deposited, but the seed wasn't. So I'm not sure what the issue was with our seed. I think we have to take it over to the store to have a look at. Yeah, that's very strange because it was working just fine before. So maybe it was a new seed. Maybe there was an issue with the new seed we put in or something. Yeah, no, I'm a bit concerned. Hopefully it's nothing too major. I think, well, yeah, we'll take it over to the store and drop it off and we'll get them to have a look at it. If we can get through this thick fog without running into any trees, because I can't remember where the crossing is. Is it here? Let's just take a guess. Looks pretty clear. Yeah, oh, perfect. It was a perfect guess. And we emerge out the other side of the thick bog. Now, our tent is down in here somewhere, I think. Yeah, it is. Let's have a quick look down at our field. I don't want to go too far because, yeah, don't want to drive through our crop that we've got down here. Let's see. So it's, oh, wow, look at these. Yeah, this is a lot of weeds down here. We need to get these sorted. They're a medium weed, so we can use a hoe on them. Which, it might be worth looking at getting a hoe. A way we're saving on using herbicide, which should, I think, help the amount of money we get when we sell our produce because we're being more environmentally friendly. And that's how the produce is scored when you sell it off, is how well you've looked after the environment as well as grown the crop. So what we're going to do is we'll head over. I'm going to drop this off at the store for them to have a look at and see if they can sort out what the issue may be. And then we will pop inside and have a look at the hoe. So I'll meet you over there when we're inside and considering what we can buy. So I've dropped the plant off around the back. That's where they said to leave it. So we'll just leave it there with them for a while. We don't need it again until next month when we want to plant at our final field. I'm just inside now having a look at the weeders that they've got. So these are their options effectively. So I think this is a small weeder for $6,500, 6 meter working width. Seems like it can work on the small weeds, but I think we probably want a mechanical type for the bigger weeds that we have got now and, in the future. So I think that this would probably be a good option. The one by Pottinger, was it the Rotocare V12400? And it's a hose. It pulls out small weeds and medium grow weeds between crops. 160 horsepower. I think our tractor can do 160 horsepower. Let's have a look. It was in the medium tractor category, yes. So it's up to, oh yeah, 225. So we got plenty for that. And it's not too expensive considering how much we were spending on herbicide. And the working width for this is 12.4 meters. So I think that realistically, that means we're going to have to get through the fields very quickly and it's not going to take up too much time, but it's going to really help with our efficiency when it comes to what the crop we get out of it, like the yield we end up with. So let's just purchase that. We have the money. We have other things to sell too, I think, if we want it, if we really need to. I still think we don't have enough money to get all of the equipment we need for the grass, which will be the next purchases we do make. Get hooked on. Perfect. And before we do anything, we need to go and get some more diesel because we are running low. We're into the red now. I don't want to run it down too low, and I definitely don't want to run the diesel out because that's going to put us in a world of hurt when it comes to having to bleed the whole system to remove any air bubbles that may have got in. So I think that it's wise just to fill up while we are literally so close to the servo. And yeah, that's pretty much it. What we're going to do is once we finish filling up, we'll head over. We might do that field that's in front of us first, the biggest one. See how long that takes to get weeded. I don't think it's going to take very long, because once we get over here, and you can see that I actually unfold the equipment. Is that too far away? No, I think that's probably going to be pretty close. That's a big working width. If we can get our lines up that we need for it, get set, and that's it. So we are doing 22 kilometers an hour, 23, 24, 25 kilometers an hour, working width of, like I said, 12.4 meters. This is not going to take very long in these fields. So we will cut out and get a quick time lapse in while we get this underway. We'll just see how much we can get done in one time lapse. I'm anticipating that we're going to get this field and the other field up here done. Probably won't go down to the one near the tent because it's very foggy at the moment. I would like to have that clear before we do down there recording wise. And if it doesn't clear up in time, then it would be best just for me to just do that off camera. It will only take a few minutes because it's not very clear when you're in the fog for recording purposes. So we'll get stuck into this and I'll see you soon. Well, there we go. That did not take very long at all. That is an amazing addition to our farm. I'm so happy that we're in a position where we can just go and buy a machine like this. $36,000, bang, straight up. Just bought it outright, no loans, nothing like that. So good. Now, that's not the first thing we're buying today, because the next thing we're about to go and buy, we are going to go and get a mower to get underway with the mowing. So I think that for now we should focus on just getting the bales created out of grass. There's not necessarily any reason to go for hay at this stage. Yes, hay would last longer, but the goats can eat both. There shouldn't be any, I don't know if there may be a difference in the productivity for them, but we're going to get younger goats to start with, so I think we'd get a few bales of grass made, and then if we don't use them all up by, say, winter time, or we'll see if we can get another cut. We might be able to get another cut this year. If we can make some hay, then we'll probably sell the grass bales at winter time, because yeah, we don't probably need that many bales, so we can make some money from them as well. So let's jump into the store and let's have a look at the baling category, the mowers category. And last time we discussed it, there was a few different options, but I think that, like, that was at 4 meters. I think it's between these two. So we could go with something that's quite relatively cheap for 4 meters, or we could go with something that's moderately expensive. So that gives us a 6.3 meter working width at 22 kilometers per hour. This one works at 25 kilometers an hour and 4 meters. I think that it's probably going to be slightly quicker with the Vermeer, but it's quite a bit more expensive. So why don't we just give the double bar mower a go? I like the color and everything with that. Actually, this might be a nice little machine for our Massey Ferguson to operate. Yeah, I think so. So let's buy this, 5,000. So it looks like we're going to get this done quite, or hopefully pretty cheaply. Most expensive thing I think is going to be the windrow, unless they've got some sort of, cheap windrower in since the last time I looked. They never mentioned it when I was speaking to them about the baler, so possibly not. So that means we're probably going to be spending 60 grand on a windrower and 5 grand on a mower and 12 grand on a baler. This doesn't seem proportionate, but I suppose that's just how things are sometimes. Let's shut this down. I'm going to jump into the Massey Ferguson. I'll meet you in that. Here we are. So I just got to get started up. We still have the Scout on. So I better go and drop the Scout off first. I don't want to leave things sitting around like I've left the stump grinder and my motorbike just in the middle of everything. There's a weight just sitting there. I've been a little bit messy recently with putting my gear away, so I just want to try and make sure we can keep things as clean as possible. So we'll put this away and I'll hook onto the mower and I'll meet you over at the field when we're about to get started. Here we are with a double sickle bar mower. We're just going to get unfolded, ready to go. The good thing about this is it was only $5,000, so if it's too slow, it's not going to work for us. We've not lost too much from it, which I think is a good way to look at it. Because, yeah, we could just go and probably still get maybe $3,000 for it, so we won't have lost too much, then we can just get the Vermeer or an alternate one. But there we go, that's what it's looking like. I think that grass is fully grown. It looks pretty fully grown. But I'm not sure if it could go another month. So let me just, I'll have a look around. Yeah, it may be able to grow a little bit longer, but at the same token, we're definitely going to get enough grass out of this field for what we're going to want to start with. We're going to have like 40 goats, and they're going to be able to graze as well, so we don't need a huge amount of grass. So I think it's just best if we just cut it as it is so we can get that underway. And if we cut it now, we may have to get another cut in, like I said, before the end of the year, before November, December time, and at that point we may have to do hay as well. So I'm just going to go around like on the outside of the field to start with and get the first headland cut, and then we'll start with the rest of it up. I think it's going to take a little while to cut this. It's a fair bit of work, and even though these mowers are 4 meters, when you look at the size of this field and how much we've done in one pass, I think it's going to take us a little while. So we're probably not going to get it all done in one time lapse. Probably better to just get some cutting done with the time lapse, then just helps if you're driving a nice straight line. So we'll get some done as a time lapse. Then we may even look at just stopping. If we got half the field done, I suppose we could start with the other side of things, getting the grass raked up and windrowed and baled, and then possibly we could cut the rest of it next month when it's grown a little bit more. So there's plenty of options, but I think the first and important step is that we get stuck in and get this as much as we can cut. So see you when we're done with that.
Dusty boots on a digital plane, twang G guitar, synth frame. Sunsets glow a pixelated hue. This old country feeling brand new. Me a prairie where the tumbleweeds roll to a drum machine beat, losing all control.
I'll probably do for now for the cutting. That's going to give us plenty of bales to go on with. There's probably 60% cut. I figured we'd stop there. We'll head over to the store and get a windrow. I am going to leave the mower out because we will be continuing with the mower soon. I do want to get this cut next month possibly. Oh yeah, definitely be going to get it cut soon. So we'll leave the mower there. We're getting to the point where we're going to need more shed space soon because we're really expanding our equipment recently. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how that's all going. I think this is going to be our big purchase, so like I said, everything else seems pretty reasonably priced, except windrows. For some reason, they must be scarce, must be rare as hen's teeth, and yeah, they're very expensive. So let's pop over into the shop and see what they've got. They also did tell me that they have like a sales tab in their shopping portal, which I didn't realize. So we'll look to see if there's anything that we need in the sales tab. So no, not really. There's a massive planter and slurry tanker. So there's nothing really we're looking for. So we are looking for grassland windrowers. This is where the difficult choice comes in play, because we could go with something like this, 8.4 meter working width for 19,500, and this is 9.7 meters for 60,000. So you're not getting that much more working width. This is double the width of our mower, so half as many, less than half as many passes we need to do with this. We could obviously go for something quite cheap. This is only 4.7 meters, considering that we're getting quite a decent size baler. I would prefer to go with something that can do double the width, because this would, you'd have to go up and then back. And I realistically think we should go with something like this. It probably lasts us, for a very long time. The alternative is this one, 3 meters. Still, you have to go up and back. It looks like it might be front mounted. No, possibly not. This would be amazing, 14 meters, but that's $92,000. Yeah, that's a no. If you're going to spend that much, you can spend 3 more thousand and get a considerable more, like another, 5 meters working with. So I think for our purposes, I do like the look of the Crone, but it just does not make sense to spend 60,000 on something when I could buy it outright for 19,500. So this is what we're going to buy. I don't know whether our Massey Ferguson tractor is going to be able to run it. It does need 80 horsepower. This may be one to put onto the white tractor. I definitely know that the baler will be a white tractor implement. There's no way that this little Massey Ferguson is probably going to be able to run a square baler. But I'm going to go with this little tractor. I quite like driving this. It's nice and nimble for the runs that we're doing. So we're going to get what we've got there rowed up, and then that's when we'll come back in the white tractor and get the baler. I don't anticipate it's going to take very long to do the rowing. This is, like I said, probably like half as long as it took to the mowing, which didn't take very long at all. Today is all about mowing and rowing. So let's just get it unfolded and see what it looks like. It's a very nice looking windrower. And yeah, definitely a nice working with. I think it might be wise to start this end, and we'll go down towards the mowed end of the field. So if we get underway, get the machine going, yeah, that's working. Then we put it down, and we're rowing. Look at that, beautiful. So that's making quite a nice size swath of grass. Like I said, I feel as though we probably could have got more grass, but this is going to make a few balers to get us started, and definitely enough to keep us going until we can get a tedder and make some hay next time we cut. And also this meadow grass we're driving, we can probably cut that as well. It's not going to yield as high as what our field that we've got, that we've looked after, we've fertilized and everything, but it's still going to make some bales. Even if it's only 1 or 2 bales, it's still something that's literally from grass that's just sitting there doing nothing. this is working quite well. It is a bit slower than the mower in terms of working speed, but in terms of working width, it is, yeah, double, which is, you know, a fine trade-off for me. Do is we'll just jump out and do a quick time lapse while we finish this off, and I'll bring you back in once we have got, or once we're heading over to buy the baler in the white tractor. So, see you soon.
Dust in my throat, can't tell who's winning. Moves like thunder, my head is spinning. Betting on number 3, but I don't care. I just wanna feel something. Run, run, run till your lungs give out. Scream, 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 that's what it's all about.
Here we go, just as a very last little piece to windrow, and then we'll be heading over to get the baler. I'm impressed with our expansion at this point. We've bought, this will be the fourth new machine we've bought today, and we still have 113,000 in the bank, so obviously we're making the right decisions and we're heading in the right direction. I don't want to get too confident yet, because there's still a lot of things that can happen, a lot of issues that we may face, a lot of expansion to do. But we definitely are heading in the right direction. Would love to get a tractor at some point with a front 3-point linkage. If we continue doing lots of mowing and that, then we can put a front mower on. And then even if we had an offset mower, we'd still be able to, it would still be quicker. Butterfly mower would be ideal, but I don't know if we're going to need that at any point. We may do it sometime. Not 100% sure. We've got a ways off before we get to that stage. What I do know is we're going to buy a square baler. Go into the shop's baling category, and it's one of these 690 and the 100. I don't know what the difference is. I do like the look of the 690 bit with the John Deere yellow pickup. I feel as though it's probably going to be the same size. Looks pretty similar, and we're going to want to get twine in it, because we're going to need that straight away. So it's a total of 12,960, which I think is an absolute bargain for a baler like this. But look at that. That is an amazing looking baler for that price. Nice John Deere. And John Deere is usually quite expensive. Some might say too expensive. But in this case, it was just right for us. This is exactly what our farm needs. Especially when we come to baling all of the straw from our combinable crops later in, when we do them next. So I don't think we have any combinable crops that have straw, because we have the sorghum. Oats. We put oats in, yeah. So there is one lot of crops that we can use this baler on. So it's going to get a bit of work this year. Next year we may try and do all combinable crops with straw. Let's again start down this end. I'm not sure how to use a baler. I'll just work out that button seems to unfold it. Yes, that's going alright. And it's been twined up, so it's sitting there. So we've officially made our first ever hay bale, or in this case grass bale, which is a pretty exciting milestone, which means our goats are going to have something nice and delicious to eat when we get them. Here we go, approaching 90% for the next bale. Gotta make sure I'm staying in line with the swaths as much as possible. Don't want to be missing any. Excellent. So even the first bale is still yet to fall out. So we're halfway through the next bale. Oh, yeah, there we go. About 50% through the third bale, and we can eject the bales, which is pretty cool. Definitely a worthwhile buy. I'm really glad the store mentioned it to me when I was over there just before. I think they can see that we are putting a lot of business through them, so that we're their number one customer at the moment. So they're happy to keep us happy. Oh, well, what we've got to do is we've got, what, 6 swaths to bale. And we'll jump out, we'll do a quick time lapse. We'll see how many bales we get. I'm hoping that we're going to get, we've got 3 bales now. So hopefully we're going to get like maybe 10 or 11 bales. So yeah, I'm going to go with 10. So let's just see how we go. See you once we're done.
Vengeful blur as they tear around. My fists are clenched, but I make no sound. Someone's gonna break today. Maybe it's me, but that's okay. Run, run, run till your lungs give out. Scream, 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 that's what it's all about. Faster, faster, till you hit the ground. I need to lose just to
Well, this has been super quick. I'm sort of regretting getting the smaller mower now, because that seems to be our longest job. With that nice wide windrower and the baler that can do 70 kilometers an hour, and being a square baler too, it means we don't actually have to stop like with a round baler. That's one of the reasons why I was more drawn to the big square baler, because, excuse me, sorry, the reason behind being drawn to the baler is because with the round baler you're constantly stopping. You know, if you get to stop, you end up running over it and you've got to go back. Where with the square baler you just keep on keeping on effectively, just keep taking it in at the front and it keeps pumping it out the back. So it looks like we've got 34% of a bale in there and 2 bales still yet to be ejected. Doesn't look like we've got to the 10. It looks more like we've got to, what's it, about 5, 6? Let's eject these 2 right here. And we should be able to see what it says on the bale counter. So 6. So 6 in total. But these are the biggest bales that baler can do, which is 240 centimeters or 2400 millimeters. And they are 6,500 liters of grass per bale, 1.1 tons. So we've got 6.6 tons of grass effectively from this section here, which I think should be pretty good for our future potential goats. Now, it is getting a little bit late in the episode, so I think that getting the goats will be what we'll do next time. But we have done everything we need to today to get prepared for them. We've got our, like I said, we've expanded 4 machines today. We've got our 6 grass bales ready. We will cut the rest of that and bale that possibly next time. We'll just have to see what else is going on. But yeah, we'd like to get this done as soon as possible, so that way we can fertilize it all and it'll all grow back at the same rate. And hopefully later in the year we'll be able to get a second cut effort. So if we got 6, maybe we'll get 10 bales out of the entire field, so we might get another 10 later in the year. And whatever our goats don't need, we can sell, because we've got to have a continued supply here with this grass. So I think we've had a really good productive day. Unfortunately, our planter had an issue. Hopefully the store can fix that. We'll have to check on that next time. That weeder hoe that we've got is a great addition. And so it's all of our grass equipment. So if you're keen to see how we go and how many more bales we get out of this patch of grass, or how many goats we end up getting, please do remember to like and subscribe. But for now, remember to keep your boots dirty and your bites clean, and I'll catch you next time on DirtByte.